what makes a happy childhood in your opinion?
I'm 28 and I still remember not every memories, but I still remember some of the special memories that I had with my family. And it was really simple for me when I was little, so I took everything for granted. But just
Yes.
having dinner with them was a special thing, but now I can't really do it anymore, so I value it. Like every time we can do it, I
Yes.
value the time. It is a really hard question, but we remember what they have done for us.
Yeah,
and I appreciate now.
always. Yes, we were the same. We always had dinner every night together at the family dinner table. And even though it was such a simple thing back then, and me and my brothers and sisters, we all live in different countries. So I live in Mexico. One of my brothers lives in Australia, and then my other brother and sister live in New Zealand. So we are all scattered to the wind, all the different directions. And honestly,
Beautiful.
I actually can't remember the last time me and all my brothers and sisters were together with my mum. So that was a long time ago. So so I appreciate the same as you. I now appreciate those family dinners that we had together. They were important. And I think it's a tradition that I think a lot of families are not doing that tradition anymore, not sitting down for meals together. And I think it's so important to do that. What is the most important lesson a teenager should learn about life?
That is a really deep question. And teenager. Okay, you'll be so surprised. I actually dropped out high school. Yeah, because I hated school. I hated studying.
Really.
So I dropped high school, and I wish I how important it is to have education. Actually, recently I got certificate, like exam.
Yeah.
It was like certificate of graduate high school thing. So now I got that certificate, but I hated it. The fact that I left. Yeah, fortunately, I didn't struggle to have a job. I'm really fortunate about that. But I wish I knew that it is important to go to university. And now I really want to go to university. So I've been actually thinking to go to university one day. Also, the fact that I didn't study a lot made me want to study now, but I wish I knew earlier when I was a teenager.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's really great. Look, what a great achievement that you made the decision to get the certificate as an adult. That's a really great decision. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. And it's interesting that you mentioned about one day going to university, because it's now easier than ever to learn, isn't it? Like you don't even have to physically go to the university. So it's now got easier than ever. Yeah. And the interesting thing, I like what you said about you want to learn now and you want to study now. Because I actually love learning now and I love studying. So especially languages. So that's why I'm learning Spanish. But I'll tell you what my goal. I would love to be trilingual. I would love to speak Spanish really well, and I would love to speak Indonesian really well. But I actually have another goal, and I know it's not a very practical goal. New Zealand language, the Maori language.
Oh, you want to learn it? Wow, that's beautiful.
Yep.
I want to ask why you want to learn.
Why do I want to learn? That's a good question. Why do I want to learn Māori language? It was called Te Matatini, and I watched some of it on YouTube. And big competition amongst the Māori people of New Zealand. It's like a performance competition. It's their songs and their dances, and it's a huge competition in New Zealand. And it recently happened. and I was watching videos of it. And I remembered how beautiful the culture is. And I heard a lot of people in the videos speak in Māori. And it really made me think how important it is to preserve languages,
Yeah, that's
Indigenous
so
peoples,
true.
and to preserve cultures. And for me personally, with a small country like New Zealand, I believe it's everybody's responsibility to preserve the language, not
Right.
just the responsibility of the Indigenous people themselves. So
That's a good
actually,
point.
in school, we all learn a little bit of Māori language when you go through the New Zealand school system.
Yeah, my husband
Like,
also
I'm sure
told
your
me.
husband knows some.
Yeah, that he
Your
learned
husband will
it.
know some words. Yeah,
Excuse me. Yeah,
yeah,
but
yeah,
he
yeah,
knows a little bit like
yeah,
Kiora,
yeah,
like that thing. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, every New Zealander knows.
Yeah.
But I think it's such a beautiful language. And I know it's not practical for me to learn it. It's not going to help me in any way. Like, I'm not going to go to New Zealand anytime soon and speak it, and speak the language.
Right,
But I would love to be able to watch the Māori news channels, or watch the Māori, like the documentaries or videos
Right.
on YouTube or something, and be able to understand it.
That's cool if you can understand it
So
without English
yeah,
subtitles.
yep, exactly. So, and it's my way of helping preserve the language as well if I learn it. And then who knows, Misaki, one day I might go to visit New Zealand, and then I can speak a little bit of the language. So
True.
yeah,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that's
That's
I would like to do
really
that.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like kind of respect for them, like show your respect to them. So
Yeah.
that's
And
beautiful.
what I realized, Misaki, was that a lot of the universities, they actually offer Māori languages courses for free. So don't even have to pay for them. They're free as a way to help preserve the language. And I think that's such a wonderful initiative.
Yeah, it
So
is.
oh, going back to
yeah.
the question that I have for you, Misaki, connected to being a teenager. Okay, so if you said you were 20, did you say you're 28, Misaki?
28. Yeah, I am.
28, yes, okay.
Yeah.
So if 28-year-old Misaki could go back in time to 16-year-old Misaki,
Wow.
what would you say to 16-year-old Misaki? What piece of advice would you give to 16-year-old Misaki?
If I could, I would tell myself that study more and just like challenge each moment, spending time with my family.
Good advice. Really
That's
good
it.
advice. Yeah, I like that.
What about you? What would you say yourself if you could?
Oh, I would probably say let things go and don't sweat the small stuff. Yeah.
That's so important.
I would tell myself everything is always going to be okay, no matter what happens. Everything will always work out. Yeah. So don't sweat the small stuff. Don't worry about the small things. Yeah. And everything will always be. When we're teenagers and when we're in our early 20s, 2021, if something bad happens, we think it's the end of the world, don't we, Misaki? We're just devastated. But then we look back and we think, oh, everything worked out fine. Everything was okay. Yeah. So that's what I would tell myself. Don't worry too much. Yeah.
But this is also the life skills. One of the life skills that we can learn as we get older, because we didn't know that skill when we were young, but now we are getting old, and we are wiser now. So that's one of the life skills.
Yeah. Do you believe there is life after death? Now this is something that I'm interested to know.
We believe that yes, there's a life after death, but if we committed suicide, we can be human again. This is my religion thing. But that is really interesting that nobody knows like life after death. Like nobody knows. Even like scientists or they don't know anything about it yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what do you
we
think
won't
about
know
this
until we
one?
die.
Yeah.
We won't know the truth. Yeah.
What do you think about that one?
For me, I would say that I'm not of a. Firstly, I'm not of a specific religion. But when I lived in Bali, I had to become Balinese Hindu. So I learned a little bit about that, and I've read different books on different religions. I've read a lot of books, Buddhist beliefs, and I do believe in a lot of the Buddhist beliefs, and I also believe in reincarnation.
That
so
one.
I do believe.
Yeah, we believe that one in my religion,
Yes.
right? Reincarnation. I forgot to mention that. Yeah.
So, and I believe that when we die, that's not the end of us, because and that's because I believe that we are energy. We are all made from energy and spirit, and our spirit and energy goes on. It doesn't end. So yeah, that's what I believe. So I believe there is life after death, but not in the exact same way. So yeah. But definitely, I believe we go on, we continue.
After death, I can be my Misaki again, and I can have my same family. I cannot have same husband, friends. This is so interesting. In my life at this moment, I'm as a Misaki, but after that, I'll be completely different person, and I'll completely and then we'll completely have different families, even friends. It's so interesting. And then I believe that since we believe reincarnation, we believe that it continues.
Yes.
Right, the life continues.
Yes, like for example, I believe I have already been on this earth many times before.
Yeah.
So, but this is my
well.
reincarnation as Deb. Yeah, I'm doing time on earth as Deb now. So
yeah.
yes. And one thing I learned about reincarnation within the Balinese Hindu religion is they believe, for example, let's say a grandfather dies. The grandfather's spirit they believe the grandfather's spirit will come back as one of the family's new children.
Wow.
So as a great grandchild. That's what they believe. Yeah. I'm not sure. I completely believe in that. I believe we can come back as anyone at any time. But I believe within Balinese Hindu religion that does happen. Is death something we should fear or just accept? After living in Bali, it really taught me to view death differently, because they celebrate death. That's because they believe in reincarnation. They celebrate that it is the beginning. They see death as a new beginning, because you have finished this lifetime and you will begin the next cycle of life, the next reincarnation. That's why it's celebrated. So they realize, oh, it's the end of this life. But that's something to be celebrated, because what follows an ending is always a beautiful beginning. It's a new reincarnation. Wow. That's why they celebrate it.
But we everyone knows that we're gonna die one day. Everyone knows. And then we know that we have a limit of our lives. So we really scared to be death, scared about it. And then I feel like I don't actually care about me dying, when I pass away, but I'll be super sad when I losing my families, everyone, the people that I care. Exactly, so I don't think I will be able to accept, but it is life, so it is part of our lives, so we have to accept. But
we do.
And then that you mentioned about they Balinese, they celebrate their death. Actually, it makes sense, and then should be like that. Yeah, but we are just scared to say goodbye to our loved ones, I feel like.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, in Bali, of course, they are sad that they have lost their relatives.
Yeah.
So they are sad, of course, but at the same time, they are celebrating. Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Well, here's
Mm.
a big question, Aki. What is the meaning of life?
Oh wow, why is it life? Actually,
Yeah.
life. Wow, this is so deep. To be honest, I don't know anything yet. I'm still learning. I'm still learning about life because all we know is just we all we know is just we are dying one day and we have to achieve something that we want to achieve. And then it's really actually interesting that it depends on each person. Some people think that, oh, I don't care about my life anymore. But at the same time, other people think, I want to achieve something in my lifetime, in my life. So this is completely different. But life, wow, I'm still learning. I don't think I will able to find a reason, a meaning, but I feel like it's fine because we are living our life at the moment, and I think it's what matters the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that. It's like we don't necessarily need to know what the
Yeah.
meaning is. There doesn't need to be a meaning. We just need to live good lives. Yeah, happy
That's it.
lives. Yeah,
Yeah.
there doesn't need to be a meaning for it. Yeah, I
That was
agree.
deep
I
one.
agree. That just confuses things. We think,
Yeah.
what is the meaning? It's like we don't need a meaning.
I don't think we
Yeah.
can be able. I don't think we will be able to find it anyway. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree because sometimes I
Mm.
ask myself that question, what is the meaning of life? And every time I ask myself that question, I have a different answer. So I'm
Yeah.
not sure there
True.
is a real answer. There's not just one
Mm.
answer. It's so many
Right.
different opinions. Should young adults enjoy themselves and see the world before getting married?
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely. They should.
Jen.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I mentioned before, that I had a boyfriend who I dated for 5 years when I was
Yes, yeah, you mentioned them.
15.
Mm-hmm.
15 to 20. And
Mm-hmm.
after I broke up with him, I was so free, like I told you already. But so at that time, I was single for a year or 2 years, and
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
was I really enjoy my like just being myself, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like should young adults enter themselves and see the world before getting married? Yes, they all like we all should.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they have decided not to get married, I think
Mm-hmm.
it's really important for everybody to see the world and just enjoy just themselves. Not rely
Mm-hmm.
on partners. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
so important for everybody, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That's I like your perspective there, Misaki, because
Thank you.
obviously after we are married, we can still travel, right? So
Yes, I was gonna mention as
we
well.
can
We can still
still
do it.
we can still travel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But as you said, like you raise a really good point. We're not dependent on a partner. I think it's such a wonderful idea to go out into the world as individuals.
Then this question, how should we decide who to marry? I don't know.
Mm,
I believe my feeling. I believe I got married with my husband because
mm,
I can be just myself front of
mm,
him.
mm,
So yeah, that's why I got married to him.
mhm.
How should we decide? I don't know. It's so hard for me.
Yes, I still don't know the answer to that question. One
Yeah.
thing I learned was how not to decide. And I learned, I
Wow.
think the biggest lesson that I got from my marriage is that loving the person is not enough. Yeah, I thought, oh, I love my husband, I love my partner, so I will get married with him, I'll agree to marry him. That's not enough. You have to have all these other things that make the
That's
relationship
true.
work as well. Love is not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Not
can't just
enough.
love the person. You need to have like common common goals and have agreements about things, and you have to agree, this is how we're going to live our life, this is what my boundaries
Yeah.
are, and you have to decide how you're going to proceed in the future. Love's not
So
enough.
true.
It's so not
Yeah,
enough.
because we
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
live together kind of forever, you know? That's
yeah,
love isn't enough.
exactly. Yeah.
Just love
And you
isn't
have to
enough.
have
Yeah.
some of the same ideas about things, about how you want your lives to progress and what's going
Right.
to happen in certain situations.
True.
So you need a whole lot more than love. That's what I
Right.
learned. So such
Oh.
interesting discussion. Like you always have really great perspectives, and I
Oh,
really
thank
enjoy hearing
you.
your perspective, not only your perspective, but also the perspective of the Japanese perspective is really
Right.